the issue of clamping or whatever, governor must be done also with decorum. If you look at the way some people are having their vehicle clamped, some of your officers are also very crude, and we must change. It has improved, I must accept, but we must go out of our way to make this the city government better. My last comment is about the police. Chair, when we talk about this case is under investigation, I've never heard when the police come and say, now we have finished the investigation, this is now the report about what we are telling you we were investigating. I think a time should come when the police should come out and tell the country that what we told you last time, that we were investigating, these are the results. We need to have that kind of feedback from the people. Because this is, you know, when you say it's under investigation, and nothing is reported. Chair, I think we should also be able to ask our officers to be responsible. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. You are guiding us well. As I listened to the presentation by His Excellency, Honorable Sakaja, our governor for Nairobi, I was happy when you actually said that you're innocent. And I am happy that you have actually, as a way of presentation, you are like, you are seeking forgiveness from Kenyans, and let's hope they will forgive you. And the presentation done by our IG is the same thing, that you are innocent about what happened. This is a terrible thing that happened. It has never happened, and let's hope it will be the last one. Our governor, my heart is telling me that apart from expecting the DCI report on investigations, I don't know whether, as a governor for Nairobi, did you also do your own local investigation? Because the thing that happened actually behind your back, it was not so simple, it was not something good. It is a terrible thing that apart of waiting for the DCI to come up with their investigations, I don't know whether it came into your mind that you also need to do an investigation about your officers. I thank our IG for giving instructions to our DCI to do thorough investigations. And as the way it has been said by my colleague, Honorable Sige, that investigations, this is a unique thing that happened in this country. And Bana DCI, I hope you will do thorough investigation and you will give back the report to Kenyans to also understand what happened. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much. You had made your point quickly. It's 1:20. We should be almost winding. So, Governor, to respond to, then in that order, and Governor, to the point kindly. Some of these may even be a bit repetition of what was already asked.
Thank you, Chair. I won't take more than 5 minutes. I thank the members who have given comments and asked questions, starting with Honorable Mburu, Joseph Kangara. It is true, and it's really good for all of us to understand what the crime is. The problem is the dumping. Everything else is within the law. And I have provided the statutes that allow the county government to enforce on any entity. In fact, you know, the enforcement is not about Kenya Power. We're enforcing on all land rate defaulters, all wayleave defaulters, because we must raise our revenue. When I got into the county, we were struggling with a lot of revenue issues. We fully digitized. The first year we collected 10.5 billion. Last year was historic. I collected the highest amount in the history of devolution, 12.8 billion shillings, to serve residents of Nairobi. And so this enforcement we're doing is to enable us to sort out these problems that we have. And that is why even if you look at the officers who are, you know, interdicted it, you see, it was a revenue operation. It wasn't an inspectorate intervention. It wasn't the energy team of power bills or fire. It was a revenue operation. And we are moving out towards the whole city to make sure that everyone pays their part. Again, I say you can't have 50,000 accounts for 256,000 parcels and expect the city to change. We even put in our law that you can pay by installments. You can pay bit by bit. Now, Mheshimiwa Kangara's question is the tough one, because he says, yes, you are allowed to do those things, you are allowed to enforce, but why? But must the trucks be garbage trucks? Mheshimiwa Mburu, those are the trucks I have. I don't have other trucks. I only have garbage ones.
Chair, I think the question was, must those trucks have garbage in them? That was the question.
No. They don't have to. And allow me to leave it, they don't have to. You're right. I think we all agreed that this thing could have been done in a better way. The enforcement should be done in a different way. It's not the first time Kenya Power has been clamped in this way. Dr. Kidero sent 6 trucks in 2015. The only difference is no one tipped. They didn't empty. Because you create a situation that then jolts the people who've been ignoring your letters to come to the table. And if that is the only language they're hearing sometimes, you have to make it uncomfortable. The only where I feel bad, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, is the innocent Kenyans around there. People running businesses, etc. Internet providers, you're right, it's an ISO. All of us can see. I wish the media could do a story. If you look, some cables are hanging low, going across the road. Yesterday when I was driving home, I decided to just look at all of them along Dennis Pitt and State House, because I live around there. Even outside State House, you just see a orange cable has gone across the road. That's not the city we want. It's not. I told them they must be orderly. Now when they were paying us, we used to have, our engineers had to sign off how you move from one to another. What Kenya Power has been able to do is these companies that are now being carried on their backbone are even evading licensing. They have no business permit, some of them. So you're aiding people not to be compliant as a company. And we said, look, we're willing, I had this discussion with one of our biggest telcos, to do a common service duct. In other countries, you don't see lines just crisscrossing like spaghetti, spaghetti connection. Mexicana, somebody's, it's wrong. And so I want to let you know as a committee that we are going to agree with the ISPs, with the Communication Authority, because that is the entity that is charged with telecommunications, and with our planners on how we do that in a neater way. Honorable Hussein Waitan Mohammed Abdirahman, the question, I think your question is clear. You say I'm the one who should answer for it. That is what you're saying. In other words, I have answered for it. I have personally apologized on behalf of the people. If there's an investigation into who directed that an operation be done to get our revenue, I am guilty as charged. It's my responsibility constitutionally to make sure that the financial standing of the city is good, to make sure that those who owe us pay. But if the question is who ordered dumping, that is the work that the DCI is doing. That is the crime. The crime is the dumping. But now, tomorrow we'll say if my officers clamp a car that is parked on the pavement, they should not. We should also be careful not to make the counties not be able to operate. If my officers of inspectorate today stop maintaining law and order in this city, it will be anarchy. People will be urinating on all the walls everywhere. Hawkers will be outside Parliament here. It will be full anarchy. But there's a reason why they must also enforce at their level, but in a dignified way, which takes me to Mheshimiwa Sigei. And sorry, Mheshimiwa Itan, you kept saying, how do you get rid of? People are not gotten rid of. You don't get rid of people. You don't get rid of them. We have a law that then takes them through a legal process. Our internal investigation department is mandated to look into these issues based on what the law has given to us, to look at, was there sabotage? Sometimes somebody can actually say, politically, can say, why don't you guys create a scene? The governor will look bad. It could be influence. It could be whatever it is. That's why the investigation should let us know why was this done. Because I would never countenance such an instruction that poor on the people. No, that one I would not. Ambassador Sigei.
Sorry. I think the governor, you are diverting from the question I asked.
Please wait.
No, I asked.
You know how we conduct business. You ask the question through the chair.
Yeah, point of order now.
What is it return again?
In the question, he has completely diverted from the question I asked, because mine is not your other businesses. of how you're going to collect and the laws, those are not the questions that I'm asking.
Yeah.
I'm asking exactly the dumping issue.
Yes.
They are these acting individuals that have been interdicted. I'm saying the buck stops with you as the governor. I doubt whether instructions are given by those ones. Instructions must have come from above. This must be an order from above.
Maybe you can participate
Governor,
in the
please.
investigation.
No. I think we have started well.
Okay.
That's why the DCI is investigating. And I think we are...
I mean,
So that is
yeah,
it.
thank you, Chair.
Don't respond to that.
I will not respond to
That is what the DCI is investigating.
Yeah.
Who is, how did it happen? The people responsible to include everyone.
Completely. And
So
the
that is
DCI
very
has,
clear.
they have call logs,
Yeah.
they have records, they have messages, they have a way to find out who said dump. Ambassador Sige, you understand it very well. You've led this city. You've been in the administration. Nairobi is complex. It's huge. Nairobi is like a country. The GDP of Nairobi is $28 billion. The GDP of Rwanda is $11 billion. The GDP of Burundi is 2. In a day, the government of Nairobi must provide health services, must make sure traffic is flowing, must make sure garbage is collected. In the same day, must build roads. If you look at the kind of work load with 18,000 staff, it is a very fulfilling job, the most fulfilling that I've ever had. But of course, while you do that, you're also dealing with people who have worked with a certain culture. I have officers in Nairobi who started working in City Hall the day I was born. 40 years ago, that's when they started working. They've been there. And so when you come to an institution and you're trying to change the culture, how you approach the people, and I'm very happy you've noted there have been improvements. Before, people feared my officers more than IG Kanja's officers. They said you'd rather be arrested by police than by Kanjo. I removed those, you remember those contraptions, those tetanus-filled vehicles that people used to be thrown inside and the people standing, getting hawkers in. I removed them. You will not see them, But today, hawkers are in back streets. You can walk from one end of Nairobi to the other. You can see the end. I removed those signages that were hanging on people's heads, because you must create that order. So we'll keep improving. We're the first county government to have an entire sector led by a waziri called customer service, public participation, and inclusivity. A whole sector led by CEC to deal with how are we engaging our customer. And the first principle, I got it from the Amazon book of Working Backwards. I told my staff, and I tell them every day, is to be obsessed with the customer. The County Government Act talks about customer service centers. How many counties have one? Take a walk today, come to City Hall Annex, and you see the customer service center at City Hall. You'll think you're in one of the top banks in Kenya, where you come, you pick a ticket number, you go up there, it is well lit, there are young customer service operators. That is the attitude you have, but it doesn't change in a day. It doesn't change in a day. It takes some time. So finally,
kindly, Governor,
let me conclude. Senator, Honorable Liz Chelule Chepkorir, you asked about the local investigation. No, she asked the local, but I can leave it. Yeah. So the internal we have that fully fledged department. The IG has said how I actually even wrote to him a few weeks ago, because we discussed that he can even give us some senior officers to boost it, because we've had that department, we've had that relationship before. So our local investigation is not concluded. All I want is who gave that order to tip the garbage. But for anything else done, cutting off county services, clamping down the place, that one I personally would take responsibility, because I am following the law that we have.
Yeah. The question from Sige, it's always every other time you are being asked something, investigation is ongoing. Investigation is ongoing. At no time you ever come and say, we have done investigation, this is our finding, we have prosecuted this number of persons. I think that is a Sige concern, and I'm sure he's speaking on behalf of majority of Kenyans. Comment on that?
Thank you very much, Chair. First, I would like to comment on the issue raised by Honorable Kangara regarding the obstruction contrary to Section 53 of the Traffic Act vis-à-vis the legal clamping. As a matter of procedure, Honorable Chair, after we compile our file and all the evidence, the file is ordinarily forwarded to our legal department for legal audit. And then eventually it makes its way to the office of the DPP, who will give an advice on the charges to be preferred. If the charge will be in conflict with the so-called legal clamping, then we shall be so advised. So our recommendation, Honorable Chair, is not the final, and we shall stand guided by the ODPP. As regards the update, I agree with the Honorable Member that it's not just to say that the file is pending under investigations. Our service standing order is very clear that upon completion of any case, upon completion of any investigation, we must give a feedback to the complainant. And we have been doing that, Honorable Chair, where after we finalize our investigations, we do give our feedback to the complainant and the members of the public, and that is captured in our service standing orders. For this particular one, I remember I said from the outset that the police case file was forwarded to the ODPP on 27th of February for perusal. So that means that particular file is not under investigation. It is awaiting further directions from the DPP. But mine is to assure that once the whole matter is conclusively investigated and a decision made, we shall communicate the same to the public, cognizant of the fact that this is a matter of public interest. Thank you, Chair.
So thank you so much. Quickly, we are going to have lastly, Ngeleche, Aduma, and myself as we near to conclude.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Chair. And let me start by appreciating the Governor for Nairobi, for one, turning up. Number two, for also profusely apologizing, although he is alluding that he is not the one who gave instructions, but who are we? We can just take the words from his own mouth. But then, Chair, the Governor is, from the whole drama of KPLC and Nairobi County, I think somebody was trying to seek attention. It might not be the Governor, but also the staff responsible at the City Hall. Maybe I've had the frustration of having to deal with power outrage or dealing with Kenya Power disconnecting their power, and they decided to be frustrated. They decided to vent their frustration by dumping the Kenya Power. It has opened something, Chair, that we need to relook at it, because what is it actually that with government institutions and the county government that people don't pay their bills? When we do budgeting, we have recurrent expenditure to cover the overhead costs for various institutions. And it's unfortunate that even as we are here, the DCI has confessed to be having a pending bill for Kenya Power, and the Governor is also saying that the National Police Service owes them. We would wish to know what is the problem with the government institution, that they don't pay their debts. They keep postponing it. It goes to 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, until the person responsible leaves the institution. You never know if those people have had the money to pay those pending bills, but they decide to postpone and make it recurrent for a future that is unknown. So, Chair, I think from this conversation, something very important that I have noted is we need to know, why are people not paying up their debts? Because if you go to the DCI and you want